You can just see the Tuolumne down below where I started. Nice spot outside of a couple of bugs. It's actually a bigger site up there that had a fire pit, but I try not to pick ones that can handle multiple tents. That's just somewhere between inconsiderate and asking for trouble when you've got groups in the area. This also worked out because in another couple of miles, I climb away from the river before dropping back down again. Okay, sunset in the tent, time to get moving. I did actually get a few mosquito bites last night. There are a few of them around, just not many. Since it seemed like all the groups yesterday were moving up the canyon instead of down, I picked a spot that was both not super obvious how to get down to and located above where I think there's going to be more campsites available, figuring most folks would stop, at the falls camping area instead of coming over here. I had been wishing that I looked up more about what the actual route most people seem to be doing through here is. To me, it was just a section connecting other trails, so I didn't look at it other than to lay out, okay, I think I'm going to camp near here. My bag is feeling noticeably lighter now. Unfortunately, that is partially because I am running low on my cheese brick, and also my aches and pains are kind of making up for the lack of weight. Especially coming down something like this, I would personally rather be going up. Harder on the muscles, easier on the joints. I have been getting some weird looks because I'm here in my usual thru hiking gear, all covered up from the sun, and most people I'm meeting are in like shorts and tank tops. I used to backpack in shorts and a t-shirt and such years and years ago, but as I have been out more and more and for longer periods, you get more sensitive to sun exposure and not wanting to die early of skin cancer. I got too many other hikes to do. I have about 7 more miles left in this corridor, generally a descent with one little hill in the middle where the trail one little hill in the middle where the trail climbs away from the river for a bit, at which point I will hit my low point of 4,400 and I will start climbing back up towards the PCT and eventually Robinson Lake. Between my extra mileage on the first day and yesterday, I am a little bit ahead. I could conceivably get out a little bit early, but we'll see how the rest goes. I do love being out here, but I love being out here with a purpose and having, somewhere I'm going. So I tend not to lean towards, oh, okay, I'll just stay at this lake and hang around all day. If you hear me making weird puffing noises in between sentences, it's because I am down low enough where the gnats are kind of getting to be a pain. And sure enough, I kind of figured there'd be multiple sites here and that it would pull in most people who wanted the easy option. Oh, Blondie would be so happy back here. Part of me with the bugs and the heat keeps wishing I had stayed in the high country. But the good news is Big Secchi Loop, other than hitting Road's End, pretty much stays in the high country for like 2 weeks, so I will get plenty of that. This would be kind of amazing earlier in the season while the snow is still melting. Yeehaw. Okay, I've been running into a couple of groups, one going my way, most going the other. The main complaint seems to be the gnats. Everybody's getting swarmed. Oh. I think I've run across 4 groups this morning already. And that doesn't include anybody that might have passed me while I was editing videos this morning. I didn't get out of camp till a little after 8. So that was that big climb I was hoping to camp before, because as expected, high and dry. So I have about 3.5 more miles in this canyon, and then the fun part starts. So just chatted with another group. It seems like most of them are all between Tuolumne Meadows and White Wolf. Apparently there is a shuttle. For those guys, this section is like 30 miles or so, the way most people are doing it. So 2 nights and change. People keep asking me where I'm coming from, and I try and describe my route, and they have no idea. Other than a couple of them have recognized the trail junction down at the bottom here. I did have somebody yesterday who popped around a corner. I was convinced I was a bear and just about jumped out of their skin. I have seen some bear scat back here. I kind of figure canyon this busy, they're not going to be around too much. But none of it was fresh, unlike the previous trip where we saw more bear scat than people. Oh, shade, that is bloody lovely. Burning stump holes, huh? Does smell like smoke. Okay, so this is where I leave Grand Canyon of the Tuolumne and climb what is hopefully also maintained So it seems like everybody else is coming in from White Wolf, which is 8.4 miles that way. Unfortunately, the big question I can't answer is whether there's going to be water on that climb, so this could get unpleasant. Worst case, I get up there and that's dry. I'm going to have to make a decision and see if I can either make it to off-trail water or worst case have to backtrack here, in which case that gets pretty messy. I'm going to give it just a little bit here to try and get down as much water as possible, and it's also a little after 1 o'clock, so it's the heat of the day. Though hopefully if these clouds keep building, I might get lucky. Okay, party time. Pleasant Valley is one of my bailout options if the water doesn't work out up here. So I can hear Paiute Creek down there, and right before hitting the steep part, there was actually a use trail going down to presumably the water. So at the very least, I have a fallback, but I'm really hoping this canyon will be flowing off to the left, because this is going to be a good climb. Oh, well, damn. So far I've gone from 4,400 to 6,200. I'm not near done. The switchbacks continue, and then it looks like I'm going to be crossing up there, and then I do some more climbing. You can just see the Tuolumne down below where I started. Found a trickle of water at 7,500 feet. I had hoped this would be running because of a spring. I'm still going on, but I'm drinking 1.5 liters and packing full water because I don't know when I'm going to run out of gas here. Okay, drank a little over 2 liters, refilled my 2.5, so theoretically I can dry camp if I find a good spot, and I don't want to keep pushing it. Okay, I had an alt going to Paradise Valley mapped out. It was guaranteed to get me to water. I wanted to go this way though. I'm not going to be hitting Benson Lake, but it does get me into the area of Petite and Volunteer, which is a really pretty area I've been to before. So I'm now up at 7,700, done with the steepest of the climb. And that was quite the workout. So, closer I can get to Rogers Meadows, the better. I had kind of intended to go until I found water, but I have more options now. I am fortunately doing better than I was at Kennedy last week. Oh, but still not up to my usual level. 8,200-ish, and if I can find a safe campsite, I'm going to take it. Unfortunately, it's been all vegetation and down trees. Somebody has done pretty involved trail maintenance here, though. There's a bunch of drainage ditches cut, things like that. Okay, not ideal, but I can make it work, and I am in a burn zone. And not a lot of safe spots around here. Actually, that was a little too vertical for me. I can make something work here, though. This is pretty far from ideal, but everything I keep walking around to is more sloped than I thought and has rocks and ants and other things. And I have not found anything that it was safe to camp for a while. So I'm below a live-ish tree. I've got a place that I can make it through the night, so this is going to be home sweet home. I don't know how long this burn area is going to extend, and I don't know if I have enough juice in me to make it up to Rogers Meadow. I only made it about 12.5 miles today, but considering the steepness of that incline, I'll take it. Tomorrow should get me back into more familiar Sierra territory. I'll be up towards Petite and Volunteer and hopefully make it pretty close to Peeler Lake. Hopefully, we'll see. This section has been maintained recently, so other than the fact I'm dragging slower and slower, I was moving along okay. The funny thing here is the Tuolumne is a little less than a mile down that way and 4,000 feet down, so I did not cover all that much distance. I think I'm about 5 miles as the crow flies from where I camped last night. Fun times. Burn areas are just kind of the worst. If there was tree cover, there would be less vegetation and plenty of places to camp. I found 1 or 2 other options that were probably better than this, but they had unacceptable tree danger.